Alright, well, welcome to the shop. Listen to a bunch of skip on the CB. So, we tore the old farm boss down here, the old chainsaw. Forgot to grab a shop towel. So, I been trying to find parts. I was able to find it's not on eBay though, it's on a completely different website, but I was able to find a original or stock, whatever, I don't know. It's a Farm Boss bar. It just says Farm Boss on it and it has the logo. It's whatever the original one had too, but that was just a 16-inch bar, but I was able to find it in a 18-inch. So I'm gonna go up one size in bar. Because apparently this saw can handle 3 different ones, a 16, an 18, and then a 20-inch. I'm just gonna go up to an 18-inch. I feel like that's gonna be enough, a little bit, I think, for what we're doing. And plus, if I read it right in the book, I don't know, it's hard to find things, but I have books on some of the stuff, but not an actual parts catalog. But I was able to find, this is the original bar. That's the original one from when the saw was new. That's, of course, my new chain. I got the part number off of this, so I want to cross-match that into my book to see what I'm dealing with. But I know that the part number for the 18-inch will be obviously different from a 16, but that just confirms that the book is accurate to what I'm dealing with. Now, apparently, this, I don't know how to really even say it. I forget what I was even going to say, but there's some of this stuff that's meant for the Farm Boss can fit on other saws. And the next size, I think that's technically a little bit smaller than a Farm Boss, would be a Wood Boss. But I think that's just one size down from what I have currently. But that one, and then I think one size up, they can still accept all the same part numbers, the exact same bars, except the exact same chains and everything, which is kind of weird because, you know, you'd be putting, because the Farm Boss is only an ms290 and then an ms291, I think. That's the newer generation now, is the 291. So, but they share that same bar, which is fine, but apparently that Farm Boss bar can actually fit on other saws as well. But they're not Farm Boss chainsaws. See, like, this is a true Farm Boss chainsaw, like it's branded that way, but I guess part number wise they fit. So and this is a green labeled bar. I'm not sure what the new one was. I don't think it's really going to matter too much because the chain that I'm going with is going to be, that's been a struggle all by itself to try to figure out what chains fit the what. So, because the parts, or the book that I have that shows somewhat part numbers are a little bit different from what I have and from what I bought in the past. I've always just bought the green labeled chain, which is a safety chain. It's a low kickback chain. And then you have, I guess, apparently 2 different yellow ones, which is strange. It should have been green, yellow, and then I would say red, but I don't know. The yellow ones are a little bit more aggressive, so they cut a little faster, they cut a little meaner, and a little bit higher chance of kickback. This is a low kickback chain, so you still can get kickback, but there's a less chance of that. It just, I guess, depends on how aggressive you are with it. But, and then there's another yellow one apparently that's even more aggressive, and that one can really shred some shit. But the one I'm looking at, which is supposed to fit that style of bar, but in an 18-inch version. It's still aggressive, it just has less vibration, I guess. I don't know. And then the other one just has nothing, it's just pure aggressiveness. So it sounds like in the book that for every 2 chains that you wear out, you should junk your bar as well. You should just get a whole new bar. I didn't. This is technically my 3rd chain now, but this chain has only had like maybe an hour's of runtime on it. I'm going to hang on to the chain. I'm not going to throw it away because it's still brand new. Yeah, I won't have a bar that'll technically fit it, but I could still always go back to a 16-inch bar if I ever decided to do that in the future. I'll go. The chain is brand new, so I'm not going to throw it away. I don't think it'll fit on my uncle's chainsaw, but it'll fit to mine. So, and then I'm having a hell of a time trying to figure, because they don't really even give you freaking part numbers, which is kind of strange. I think that's supposed to be your part number. That very last row of numbers. But I can never really understand that because it doesn't. See, I don't know. I don't know what part numbers they got going on, because they also use this top number, which is 26RM367. The RM3, I don't think I can find it. I can't remember, but I don't think I could find that in my book. It was only RM67. But I'm going to take this back with me because I need to cross-match this part numbers to my book. Again, just to confirm that what I'm dealing with is correct. And then I can jump ahead to, this is a 16-inch, but I'm jumping up to an 18-inch. But I have to make sure that everything is correct. I just don't want to throw any chain on it and then it doesn't cut right, or the chain doesn't ride right. Everything gets kind of wore out quicker because it's not right. Supposedly, even though if you have a 16-inch bar, you can either use a 67 or a 74. Now, those numbers are the number of, I guess, drive links that it has. So supposedly this has 67. The other 16-inch one I was looking at, I think, was 74 or something like that. So I don't know why there's more drive links in it than that. It really doesn't make any sense, but it's what the book says, I think. So, but online, I got to try to see how I can, because they give you part numbers, and I think those are true steel part numbers. They're not like aftermarket or third party. They're factory stuff, and that's what I would like to stick with, is the factory stuff instead of just aftermarket junk. So, but I think the 18-inch is a 74 drive link, so, which would be understandable because it's technically a bigger chain, but so the chain, I can order them off of eBay. It's not a big deal. And then the bar is going to come from a different company, not steel, because I don't think they really even offer that, or I can't figure it out anyway. But there's another company that I found that sold a factory original steel Farm Boss branded chain bar, or bar, or whatever. But it's an 18-inch version instead of a 16. So I'm going up one size, which it is what it is. So, and then for the handlebar, I found one on eBay for it as well. It comes, which I'm guessing it's in here and in here, and I think there's one or two on the other side. Comes with the springs in it, or the insulators, whatever. I'm sure those are still good, but you're replacing it all, so you might as well just do it all right and be done with it. Supposedly it's meant for this chainsaw. They got all the ones listed, and they got an ms290 listed, and there's quite a few other ones too. So the only thing I have to do now, because I think I'm pretty much done, the only thing that's left to do now is to see if I can find a new sprocket. And this is the original one, and you can see how it's grooved in the center of the sprocket. See all those little grooves right in the center? Yeah, I don't think they're supposed to be there. So, and I don't know what's the part number on here. They have numbers on here, but I don't know. Like they got an 1125-8 space B, and then a .325, which is the size of chain that obviously can run on this. But I gotta go on eBay, see if I can find another original one like this. This one was actually a lot nicer to replace. There's another one, another saw that has a completely different sprocket design, and there's actually more to it than just what I did. Like, there's a lot of stuff in the front here that you have to pull off before you can even get the main sprocket off. So I need to see if I can find a new one of those. I think that would be your clutch in there, which I think is all right. I don't see anything broken, or it looks like there's some burntness in it, but I think that's just the way it was built. I don't think it's an overheating issue. And I'm sure heat is getting into it, but I don't think it's affected it in any way. I'm not doing a complete rebuild, so there is part numbers on that too, it looks like. So if I had to, I could replace it. And then I put it back on here. I'm not going to see it because I have to take this stuff off. That's just your washer and then your E-clip. But under that is a needle bearing. I think it's called a needle bearing. I may or may not replace that. I don't know. It looks like it's all right. Like, nothing's broken. It's not missing any needles. Nothing has slop in it. But there's no part number on that, so I'd have to see if I could just get lucky and find one that'll fit it. So, such a tiny part, it's probably not going to have a part number on it, but I may or may not order a new needle bearing for it, because I'm not far into it, I might as well. I just got done giving everything a nice soak down and carb cleaner. So she was pretty nasty, because I don't clean it very often, but you probably should clean it after every use, but I don't really do that, unfortunately. But she got really cleaned out really good now, so that's kind of just that. I don't know how soon I'll order parts or anything like that, because I think I could order, see how November goes, but I don't think I'm going to want to be working on stuff too much in November. I don't know. It just depends on how cold it is for November. But I guess if I could order a new needle bearing and then a sprocket, you'd be okay. Actually, another thing I could do, if I really wanted to, like if I really could get it done, I could just replace the handle for now, put everything back on here, and then run the saw again for a couple of weeks or whatever, go and finish that stump. But that's not really, I don't really want to have to tear shit apart again. Once it's tore apart, it's going to stay tore apart until I can just completely redo it all. So really all I got to do is find a sprocket, maybe a new needle bearing if I feel like it, and then replace all that, replace the handlebar, and then go up there. And everything's fairly cheap. I don't know what a needle bearing is going to cost, but I imagine that's going to be a $10 part. I don't know what this is going to cost me, probably $20 to $30. And then a chain, like an 18-inch chain, they're like $20. The bar, since I'm going with an 18-inch, that was like $56. And then the handlebar was $45. So basically to rebuild this is actually fairly cheap. It's just going to take time to do it. So I'm not going to be running it probably anymore for the year. Just because it's just how it's going to go. So, but it is what it is, unfortunately. But yeah, surprisingly, it's not going to be that expensive. You know, I kind of figured that, a handlebar, that's probably going to be at least an $80 item. Surprisingly, it was not. So it made me relax a little bit because that's not a horrible price, $45. And I don't know if it's a factory steel one or if it's an aftermarket one. I don't know. It looks the same as what I have, so that's why I'm just going to order it. Because it's probably still good enough. So, I don't know, but that's pretty much it. We will see what we order for parts. And then if we need to, if we'll order what we can in November, and then replace what we can. Whatever we do replace is better than nothing. So, and it did say in the book, I think you have to have a special tool, which they would obviously have, but it would cost money. But you're supposed to take measurements of how much wear down is on the sprocket teeth. And once you get below a certain number, you have to replace it. Well, I think that's pretty much wore out. I don't think there's... That probably could have been what caused my old chain to break. Maybe it binded and then just, snapped it. I don't know, but... I don't know. It'll be kind of just, I guess, whatever at this point, but... So there's not much more we can do. I don't know how much fun it's going to be to change out those damn handlebars, because I think they're spring loaded. I don't know how this comes out. I don't want to break nothing either, right? So that's what's going to be interesting. I don't even know if that's supposed to come out or not, because like I said, I don't have a parts catalog, so I don't know. I don't know. You'd think that would just come right out, but it's not. I don't know. I gotta take the screws out first, I guess, see what happens there, but I figured that these were just covers, but they're really hard to get out, so I'm wondering if that's not part of the insulators. And maybe those come out when you loosen stuff. I don't know. It's weird. So I don't want to break them, because then I got to, try to fix all that again. So, yeah, I don't know. It's a nice sunny day. No wind. I'm actually going to, probably chop leaves here in the next little bit. I need to mow my freaking lawn too. Maybe I should just mow my lawn first and then chop leaves. So, still haven't gotten around to starting the damn grain truck yet. The old farm boss, or not the farm boss, the farm all, the little A. I took the cutter bar off of that finally, because I'm done with it. I'm done cutting hay with it now for the year. I did use it a little bit yesterday to knock down cow pies. I don't know if I'll be doing it again this year or not. So I'm going to kind of wait and see. But I did order some fuel stabilizer. I forgot to get some one day. And I didn't feel like running back to town just to get it. So I figured, I'll just order it online. Ordered it from eBay, and it'll be here in a few days. I don't need it right now anyway. Because I have to treat the fuel that's in the farm all, because I don't want that to go bad. The grain truck, I don't care about that fuel anymore because it's dirty anyway. It needs to be cleaned out. But I got to try to start that too yet. Get it to run a little bit. And then, yeah. Then we'll treat the fuel in the farm all. And then she'll be officially done for the year. If I don't have to knock down any more cow pies, I'll be all right. Just kind of depends on what goes on, but so we're getting down there. As soon as we get done with the farm all completely, then there's even less to do then. So then it'll be time to put the snowblower on. So I got to get that ready as well, but I'm still mowing. I see at least one more mow happening today, I think. I think I'm going to end up mowing instead of chopping the leaves. And then I got to chop leaves. But they're technically, I don't know, they're like taking their sweet time. But usually by now they'd be farting them out like crazy. And like a lot of trees are kind of done already. Oh, well, that one by the house is done. The white one's not done yet. And then the one by the septic tank is not done yet. But the one over the house is done. That's probably what's been blowing all over the place. So I only have 2 more trees and then I'm done. But looks like my lawn needs to be cut. So probably end up doing that, I guess, today. Can't really do anything after 6 o'clock because it's dark here by like 7:20. So, you know, you got to start early in the day now and do what you can. So, but I don't know, what do you do? So, but yeah, other than that, that's kind of it. We're getting down there on things to do for the year. We're going to be wrapping up summertime fun. I still have to start Big Red one more time. You can see everything's still a mess. I still have everything in here for Big Red. All that's for Big Red because I had to take it all off, obviously, to get to the battery, but I just leave it off because I still want to drive it one more time yet. I would be on my 3rd go now because he's going in the repair shop next fall. If everything goes according to plan, Big Red will be going to the hospital next year and he will be 100%. It'll probably take them a month to do it, but whatever. You know, I'm not going to drive him in the wintertime. If I kind of doubt it. I'm just going to have them do everything. I think I'll just have them do everything. I'm going to order a new battery myself. Get another one of those. And then I'll put that in there. I'll do my wiring and stuff right. And then leave it in there. Just keep it on the maintainer. And then when they take it, they can change out the ball joints, the charging system, which is just, I don't know what they're going to have to do. I'm afraid that all this is going to have to come off, which is going to be hard to do because my light bar is like technically permanently attached. You would have to either unbolt it, the light bar from there, and then toss it up there somewhere, or you'd have to crawl up in here and disconnect the wires, which is not going to be easy to do either. I'll just let them deal with it. I'm paying them the money to deal with it so they can deal with it. But so new ball joints, fix the charging system, fix my exhaust system, which I think the muffler's fine. They could just reuse that. I might even have them change out the valve cover gasket, even though, like I said, I don't plan on running it in the wintertime. So I don't plan on running it in the wintertime. Summertime, it does not leak. So it's not really an issue if I don't ever really change it. If it starts to leak in the summertime, well then yeah, but so, and I'll have to be careful too because I got my coax cable for the CV. Still got to finish that project too, which whatever. So Big Red will be off in the hospital getting repaired, and then whatever the hell else. So, and then we'll start thinking about other stuff. So one thing at a time, but This was not a planned repair, but we're here now, so we'll repair it. We'll get a new handlebar, bigger bar and chain, new sprocket, maybe a new needle bearing. I'll see how I feel about that, because the needle bearing, this rides on that needle bearing, so that's easy to take off. And then she'll be new again. Should probably change the air filter. I think you can. It needs to be cleaned, obviously, but I think you can. They're washable, so you can reuse them. But I think there's only so many times that you can do that, and you can get them off of eBay too. So I may just get a new air filter for it. Keep the old one as a spare, but I don't know. She'll pretty much just sit there now until I can start ordering parts for it. These are going to come up to the house, so I can figure all that out. And then that's that. So that's all that's going to be going on for today anyway, is tear down of the Farm Boss and see what's going on with it, because I might as well do something while I'm waiting for whatever. So like I said, I'll probably be mowing here pretty quick, but I don't know if I don't know. I guess I should, but I guess we'll just take it one day at a time, but I don't know. But yeah, anyways, guys, I guess I'm going to take off. Just wanted to give you guys a update to what's going on here. The Farm Boss has been tore down and waiting for parts, so she'll just be sitting there now until we order at least. I mean, just a sprocket and a needle bearing. If that's all we got done, I'd take it, because I don't know how much that's going to cost. But I already know about the chain and the bar and the handlebar, so that one's going to be new to me, which I'll find out later tonight. But I don't know. So, oh yeah, and then well, it'll probably be next year. I don't know. If you notice that there's another big massive battery right here in the corner of the shop, that big guy, that's a John Deere battery. But that's actually a 6-volt battery. That was what was in the little tractor. So that's something else I'm going to order next year. It's not going to be a John Deere battery. I don't even know if John Deere even makes 6-volt batteries anymore, but the gas station that I go to, he can still get 6-volt batteries, so I'll just give him that one, and then find one that'll fit. So crazy enough, I think this is a 600 and something cold cranking amp battery, so she's a big bastard. That's stupid amount, a lot for yeah, right here, 625 cold cranking amps. So looks like it's a group 1. So my uncle actually did try to see if he did try to bring this battery back, but it was obviously it's been sitting too long, so it was no good. And then Big Red's battery, it's not that old either, but he tried to bring that back for me and couldn't do it either. I just hang on to them so I can, I know what to get. So Big Red's battery, got to get a new one of those, and then I got to get a new 6-volt battery for the Farmall. That'll be the correct one, and I don't have to use that big massive tractor battery anymore, because that's just not convenient anymore. So whatever. But yeah, so I guess, guys, I'm going to take off. I'm going to go and do some other things now, and then maybe get ready for mowing, and we'll lock up the shop for tonight, because I don't plan on coming back. So yeah, so anyways, guys, I'm going to take off, so I guess I have a good day and stuff. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Take her easy.